We've got Kendra here from the Nashville Fire Department. She's going to give us a live update right now about the latest on this fire.
So around 2:30 this evening, our crews were dispatched to 365 Paragon Mills Road, where there was lots of heavy smoke that could be seen from Nolensville Road and Paragon Mills Road. When our crews got here, there was lots of black smoke that was billowing from a breezeway on the back of Building B. Our crews made it here within 4 minutes, and that smoke, as I stated, could be seen from miles away. Our crews have been battling this fire for hours now in this heat with a heat index that is up to 104 degrees. There were lots of injuries, unfortunately, that are mostly heat related. At this point, we have transported at least 5 firefighters from this scene and 3 civilians from this scene. There were early reports that there were also people trapped inside of this building. There were 911 calls where people were stating that they were inside of the building, and our crews were trying to make an interior attack to go and recover or rescue those buildings. At this time, we did try to go into that building, but we had to pull our crews as the building was collapsing while our crews were inside of the building. We did go back in, however, while the structure was not sound, and try again to see if there was anybody inside of those units that was being called from 911, and no one was inside. However, we are going to do a secondary search of those particular units to see if there was anybody inside. We have fire inspectors on the scene right now with Metro PD's Spanish-speaking interpreter who's going around and trying to account for people and a log of folks that should be accounted for in this building. Right now, no one is unaccounted for, so we're grateful for that. But as I stated before, the temperatures are so hot out here that this is a second alarm fire, and we are actually staging for a third alarm response, which is unusual for us. But for this time of year, it is not unusual because the temperatures are so hot right now that our crews are battling in these working conditions. So we expect to be on this scene for quite some time as we are still working to get this fire under control. And we do expect that there are going to be more heat-related illnesses for our personnel because the fire is hot, the steam from the water that they are putting on this fire is hot, and it is already hot outside. So we are grateful to say that right now everyone is accounted for, but we are still working through those logs that property management has provided to make sure that everyone remains accounted for. We will remain on scene to provide updates throughout the evening and into the night if possible. Hopefully we don't have any bad news to report from this fire other than the heat-related illnesses that we expect to have from a fire of this sort just because of the temperatures that we are all out here enduring today. We were able to make contact with one of the units from that made a 911 call. We are still working to make contact with the second one.
So there's 2?
There were reports that there may have been 2. We're working to sort through that information to make sure that it's valid.
An ATF is on scene right now?
No, we have an ATF person that is shadowing our fire investigators. So you see a person wearing an ATF shirt, but they are not on the scene.
No fatalities?
At this time, we have not confirmed any fatalities, but it'll be quite some time before we're able to go through and do a full search to confirm that there are no victims of this fire.
And people who are watching from home who may not be familiar with what a third alarm fire is, can you explain that?
Yeah, it really boils down to the number of resources that we have had to call out to this fire and the size of the response. So right now we're at a second alarm fire due to the size of the response. We're staging additional equipment just in case we need to have more come to the scene, and we have because we are rotating our personnel in and out for the safety of our crews.
So will all Nashville fire resources in the county be here at that point?
No, we still have other resources that are spread throughout the city, so the residents and visitors of the county can rest assured that if something is going on around the city, they are safe and protected, and we are rotating those resources out throughout the city. Right now, the majority of the fire personnel that have been transported from this scene are due to heat-related illnesses. There was one personnel that sustained some burns to their neck, but those injuries are minor.
And any idea on the cause at this point?
No, we're still working to put the fire out.
Do you know how many people live in that specific
So
building?
Building B has 20 units. We don't know the number of occupants that are in that building, but we do know it has 20 units.
Is it contained to just Building B?
So there were 3 civilians that were transported, 2 adults, One child was transported early on. I don't know the injuries that that child sustained. One of the injuries for the adults was heart related or stress to the heart. I don't know the injuries for the other adults.
You have school buses here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so we did call additional resources because, again, our personnel are sustaining heat-related illnesses. And so Metro Nashville Schools is a huge resource of the Nashville Fire Department, and they provided two air-conditioned school buses for our personnel so that they're able to get out of the heat and rehab inside of those air-conditioned school buses. So they're down where the personnel can easily access them. They can take breaks inside of those air-conditioned school buses, and so that they don't have to try to cool off in the 104-degree heat index, because that's not working very well. And so those school buses are air conditioned and they can take breaks inside there and rotate in and out inside the air conditioned school buses. So we're very grateful for that partnership.